Okay, still here with Alex, and we're going to start with some scheme stuff. I don't know if I can give him anything, but here we go.
So I've heard you talk in the past about how you teach your back to read spots rather than to read defenders in your C gap and your A gap zone, right? And I've heard you talk. We talked a little bit more about kind of the concept of the pace that you're playing with the traffic light analogy. Can you just kind of expand on how those two fit together and
Mhm.
kind of some of the coaching points for the back in particular?
Well, I think we've adopted these words and it just means what it means to us.
Right.
But pace is full throttle, but not full speed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the speed has to be appropriate to the lights, and that
Right.
pace talks to the lineman.
Right.
Okay, and tempo talks to the runner. All right. Uh, the runner wants to be quick to a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excuse me. He wants to be slow to a hole and quick through the hole.
Yep.
Okay. Or he wants to change
Yeah.
speed. Okay.
Yeah. Slow to
I don't. I
faster or
don't
whatever
know.
you want. However you want
These
to say it.
guys.
Yeah.
Wiley said something about it one time. I kind of like that. But when we talk about the read spot, what
Mm-hmm.
we're saying is this: the back can see what the linemen are doing, but the lineman can't really see what the back is doing.
Right.
So if the back is supposed to run up the right tackle's butt,
Mm-hmm.
and he decides that he's going to just bang a right and go to the sideline,
Mm-hmm.
you've just taken the right tackle and whatever he's doing, okay, you've made him lose.
Right.
Now, if you have a reason for banging it to the sideline, somebody bursts through and unblocked, and
Right.
you're just trying to stay alive. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, but the read spot said to the back, don't make a decision. Okay, the read spot is, we say it's on the line of scrimmage, but it's really at the heels of where the linemen start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for us, the C gap read spot is the heels of the tight end or the ghost tight end,
Yeah.
outside the tackle. The A gap spot, you can say it's somewhere in the A gap.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the heels of the center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or one heel of the center. We don't go right straight up the pipe. Have problems with quarterback meshes and things like that,
Right.
especially in the shotgun. But it's if you look at what we've done, we're actually going. If it's zone, we're actually going to what you would probably call the backside guard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, um, the backside A gap.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and power you would call it the front side A gap.
Right.
Counter would be front side A gap.
Yeah.
And the veer side. We're hugging the veer side.
Yeah.
Okay. So a zone going to the right, the veer side is left, and we're actually in A gap. We're hugging the veer side.
Yeah.
C gap, of course, you're not doing that.
Right.
That's where the stovepipe, the match, and
Mm-hmm.
the Apache
Yeah.
really fall into play.
Mm-hmm.
When you're A gap, you really have a stovepipe, okay, and you have a match.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't really Apache. We try to avoid that. One thing that I really believe in now is not using tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think three open sets are the way to go. And I think a sniffer tight end guy lined up in the B gap,
Mm-hmm.
again, to give him an angle on the defensive end.
Right.
Always has a kick out angle.
Yeah.
Don't really like blocking seven techniques with the tight end, even on pin and pull.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. We're very similar, but the as far as like where our tight end plays, the back is saying, okay, he's going to get to C gap zone. I'm getting to the heels of the tight end, to the ghost tight end, and how like
That's the way he's trained.
that's the way he's trained.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
So okay.
all I know is this.
Yes.
Okay. If you're a linebacker and I'm the ball carrier,
Right.
and I run right at you, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna run right at you.
And if I run over here, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna run out there. Where
And
you
if I
going?
run over here, what are you going to do?
Run where you going?
Okay. So if I'm moving you,
Mm-hmm.
okay, can I move you into the double teams?
Yes.
right? I can make it easy for the lineman.
Right.
And you know, the back's behind me. I don't know what he's doing. I'm just
Right.
trusting that he's going to be.
He's gonna
They
bring.
told
He's
me he
gonna.
was going right here.
I'm gonna block as the guard. I'm gonna block the down guys, and the back is gonna help me to block the line.
Well, I'm gonna block the down guy if it's green light or yellow light.
Right.
If it's red light, I'm gonna help somebody
Yes.
block the down guy, and I'm hoping that the linebacker will come to me.
Yes.
The back will bring him to me.
Right.
Right. So I don't have to do anything real radical.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the read spot's all about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we got the read spot from Bob Wiley.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I can't really remember. It's been a while. And then I think he's gotten away from that, or I can't remember where we started with the read spot in probably 8 at Elon.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 2008.
Yeah.
So whoever I was talking to at the time, and it just made so much sense to do it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've done it ever since that way. And guys get other ideas and whatever. I don't know. All I know is if the coordinator says we're good with it, we're blocking the read spot.
Yeah. So how does that differ for the back? Like for the back with his eyes, he's not like for us our wide zone, your C gap, aiming point, tight end goes tight end, and looking at the first guy on or outside the tackle to the next defender inside to make a decision.
Okay, so here's what I say on all runs.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to look at the defensive end.
Yes.
Okay, who is the defensive end?
Mm-hmm.
Basically what you
first
just
guy
said.
on or outside the tackle. Yeah.
Okay. And we don't get into like, oh, he's 3 inches inside, he's 3 outside. Whoever the linemen say the defensive end is, and we signal it or signify it by this. If a center looks and he sees 2 guys that look like ends,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 guy in between them, he says 3 down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he's holding that up, and he's letting us know, he's letting the receivers know, he's letting everybody know it's 3 down.
Yep.
Okay. If he sees an end over here and an end over here, and what's an end, coach? Well, an end is a guy that's got contained.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, usually a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a linebacker, but he's got contained. The
Right.
next guy inside him ain't the end. It doesn't matter if the guy's over, under, whatever. If there's 2 guys in between,
4 down.
4 down. We hold up 1 finger because
Uh-huh.
we're saying 4 down. We can handle 1 linebacker.
Uh-huh.
Okay. If there's 2 defensive ends and there's 3 guys in between and we think all 3 of them are down, we say 5 down.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now 5 down, 4 down, you handle pretty much the same
Uh-huh.
in a run.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And pass, if it's drop back pass, we're going 5 for 5.
Right.
And then the back fits in. He
Mm-hmm.
takes the roof. He takes whatever's left.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 6-man pro, if it's 7-man pro, and you get into, well, we're going to keep the tight end, and I said, you know what, you're wasting time. Don't put him out there if he can't catch or run around. And if you keep him in, he's going to be a bad blocker.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask him to block a jet, a defensive end, who's outside him, and he's in a 3-point stance, pissing up a rope.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your game plan, you ain't got one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So at Penn State, we started to back them off the line if we kept them in. Then we had check twos where we'd alert to. One of our alerts was gangster, which meant okay, we're full gap away from the tight end. Tight end in the back handle what's left, and that those are just things. But we were a lot easier doing it off the line. Now, does it affect the tight end's release? Yeah, if he's a primary, it does.
Yeah.
So sometimes instead of putting him in the sniffer, you put him in the C gap, and we'd go foot to foot on the tackle.
Okay.
I think we're okay with that. He can pass block from there as a 2-point stance, like that. So.
Okay. So you said you're back on all run plays or reading defensive ends?
They're not reading anything
Yeah.
specifically. Now, I worked with a guy who said, well, we're looking at the linebackers and how they flow. And But what they're trying to do is bring the linebackers to
Yes.
the red light blockers.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the way to do that is to press the read spot.
Okay.
Okay. But to me, the back will not cross the end unless the end crosses him.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're running C gap and the end is trying to contain it,
Mm-hmm.
we don't want the back crossing that color. He doesn't cross color. If he's running the read spot and the end is working out or up the field, he doesn't try to cross his nose. He tries to sink it.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's initially going to the read spot.
Mm-hmm.
If the end crosses his path, let's say you're running A gap, let's say you're running power play, and the defensive end long sticks into the A gap, well then the back can cross his path because he crosses his. But that end stays out there, and you bounce it, you're on your own.
Right.
Okay. And is it a fine line? Yeah. And does it? What people don't understand is what I think people don't understand is that it's a dynamic. It changes by the second. What looks like this can turn out to be this. And if you make too soon of a decision, you screw up the block. We've had great runs from the back just takes off. Okay. What we say to them is, listen, man, you make yards. God bless you. Do that again. You're on your own. Okay. We know that you're going to get something. And a long time ago, we decided that there were two goals. You know, everybody's got goals for their offense.
Right.
Our two goals were simple. Don't go backwards. No sacks, no TFLs, and don't make pre-snap errors. Okay. If you're making a pre-snap, when the ball's snapped, it's chaos. The whole thing blows up. You don't know what's going on. Okay. You're hoping that your fundamentals will put you in position to pick up whatever's attacking that back or quarterback. But you can't, I can't, you know, I'm not blocking a sled. Sleds cooperate. Guys holding shields cooperate. Even guys holding medicine balls cooperate. But they cooperate the least. Okay, that ball becomes part of his body. Defenders don't cooperate. They do what they want to do. Okay. So what we have to do is control the defenders. That we're going to wall off somebody. We're going to get angles on somebody. Okay. We're going to match them. We're going to cave them down. We're going to do something. We're going to read the guys that we're covering, and usually that's the defensive end. Okay. When we have a three technique, very often does the ball sink inside the three technique. But if we don't get a cut somewhere in the backside, we get nothing. Okay. We don't tell the back to cut inside the three technique. We don't tell them to read the three technique. We tell them to press the spot, and the guard, if he can't get cover, if he can't keep the three technique from getting to the spot, he will take the three technique and tear him past the spot. He will bring the three technique past the back. He'll bring him to the back, and the back can sink it. But he can't sink it too early.
He's got to bring those.
Got to bring the back.
Linebackers to the red line.
He cuts in the backfield, the backers stop. I don't care. We're reading the guards. We're reading. Yeah, all right, okay. You're reading the guy with the ball. Okay, especially if you're 8-man front, you know, or post safety, you're probably in man coverage. A little aside there, if you get a post safety, you know, let's say you see something like it's a 3 down with 5 linebackers or something like that. This really makes a lot of sense, and if you don't pull the ball, if you don't run option, you got to run the quarterback. Okay, so in other words, either option somebody, and what we've learned to do is option the overhang. That's the best thing. He sticks. We block everybody else. He sticks his nose in there. Quarterback pulls it and runs. Let the linebacker catch him, or we put the tailback in front of the quarterbacks. You know, either from the pistol or offset. I like the pistol because you can't align to the back. And get him in front of the quarterback and let the quarterback run with the ball. So I think that, you know, quarterback's got to be able to beat you with his feet or his arm or his head. But the hardest one is with the head. Now, he can check you out of plays, or you got to work that stuff. Okay, it's much easier to just throw off the overhang,
Right.
or RPO, or
Right.
read the overhang and pull it, or block the overhang. Is changing formations, all that
Mhm.
stuff. Every time you change a formation, you got to teach it to somebody.
Mhm.
The backup guy didn't run it in practice. Blah 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 blah. And we're playing Syracuse one time, and our stationary tight end goes down in the first quarter, and the backup stationary tight end was the move end. And he had to go become the bull. And it wasn't that easy,
Mhm.
Um, he was certainly, you know, physically, he had the prowess to do it, but he, just didn't practice it.
Mhm.
And I don't, lots of formations and stuff. I don't know. You're 2 by 2, you're 3 by 1. Uh, two backs in the backfield, you're going to get an add-on safety. So, you want to be a 21 team? Say hi to the safety.
Mhm.
And if you're good enough to throw to the outside guys, great. You've got one-on-one game most of the day, you know. In third down, though, guess what you're in? If it's not third and short, you're in 3 open or 4 open.
Yeah.
I don't like 4 open
Mhm.
because the quarterback has to become a blocker.
Right.
Has to totally eliminate one defender,
Yeah.
and that defender is usually an end.
Yeah.
And you could read the linebacker, I guess. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I like to have that sniffer.
Fly off sniffer
Yeah.
type guy. Okay. Okay. Uh, so the back is going to press the spot. He's not going to cut in the backfield. He's never crossing the end unless the end crosses him.
That's what we say, but
Right.
things
Well, yeah,
happen.
that's
But
those are the coaching points for the
right.
back.
If your tight end or your tackle is holding that end, and the back crosses and runs up the sideline 50 yards, we all celebrate.
Right. The best blocking is a good runner.
When we practice,
Right.
we say don't cross color. Don't
Okay.
cross color. Don't
Yeah.
cross color.
Okay.
Well, here's another thing. We never want the back to finish the run going out of bounds.
Mhm.
2 minute drill,
Yeah.
takes it as far as he can when he steps out. But we always want to finish the run running out of the back of the end zone.
Mhm.
So if somebody spooks us, we might dip in and sink the ball and then get back out to the course. It's really wishbone stuff. But we never want to veer off to the sideline. We always want to try and finish
Mhm.
inside the pylon, out of the end zone.
Yeah. Okay. What? How is it how is this different than telling him just to look at the end, then look inside? He's running to the spot, and then he's going to cut up when he feels like guys have been run past the spot.
He's only really told or coached to make one type of cut.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's a slant run, he squares it up.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's an A gap run, he bounces. In other words, if I'm running to the A gap to the right and I have the veer side to the right, the only thing I can do is cut 45 degrees towards the pylon and then back up.
Yeah.
All right. So if I'm running a slant, I square it. If I'm running a square, I slant it. That's it.
Okay.
But if he brings it to the backside of the power, he better have a good reason.
Yeah.
And he better have a gaping hole.
Yeah.
And usually that works like if it's 3rd and 9 and you're running power or something like that, or for some reason they're playing cover 2, or, which if they're playing cover 2, almost anything will work. It doesn't matter what play it is.
Yeah.
If they're giving you a 6-man box, the overhang out on the slot and 2 high safeties, run whatever you want.
When your communication with the way you talk about being red light, green light, yellow light for the line, you said they're going to come out. It's 4 down. Or you say 4 down. We're running C gaps on to the right. Are we pointing our linebacker responsible for? Are we talking about telling each other who we're helping, or how is that?
Well, the Mike point system is when your protections are really sophisticated.
Yeah.
In other words, you call the Mike point, the right inside linebacker.
Yeah.
If he takes off to the left, you can track him.
Right.
You can follow him. If it's 4 down, if it's 3 down, you can have 2 points, or
Yeah.
you can say this guy's a point and the other guy, we're going to treat him like a point and track them both.
Yep.
And if it's 5 down, you let the back do the tracking. Mike point, if you're good, if your quarterback's worth it, it makes a lot of sense. The problem is it slows, if you're an up-tempo team, it slows things down because the quarterback's going to come out and you say, well, the center's going to make a point. I don't care who's making a point. It could be the coach. It's still slower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you're going to come up and change tempos, okay, sometimes you're going to go first sound, sometimes you're going to go check, sometimes you're going to look over. The Mike point system can slow you down.
Yeah.
And the defense, well, they didn't point anybody. They're not ready to go.
Yeah.
And so we had the quarterback do it because we were in most of the places I've been for the last couple of years, we had a thrower. And when we didn't have a thrower, it was basically a waste of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we went to then was spots. Okay, so for example, we would say to the kids that we were going to create a double team somewhere, and the double team was responsible for a spot. So let's say we were running power. We'd say we were running power to the right. There'd be some double team, and for us it was always a double team between the tackle and the guard. We didn't double team tight end because of the sniffer.
Right.
And they would be responsible for the spot on the other side of the center. Okay. And they said, well, there's nobody there, coach. Somebody's going to be there. We're not going to worry about counting. Okay. When we're on the Mike point, we'd say to the quarterback, okay, you have an open edge, no lead blocker. The first blitz threat to that side is your Mike. I don't care who he is, the safety, whatever. Okay. You're looking from the outside in. Okay. Guy comes down, there's a Mike. If there's an extra guy, you got a problem. Okay. If you're going to read the first guy, then block the second guy. Okay, because now you're a blocker. Okay. If you have an extra blocker, a third blocker, you leave one for him, and you point the next guy. So it doesn't matter where he is.
Yeah.
Now that gets you a little trouble in A-gap stuff, but that's neither here nor there. It's all based on what's best for the protection.
Right.
If you have 2 guys, a tight end, say, in the back, you leave one for the tight end, one for the back, and you point the third guy. That's basically the way we might point it.
Yeah.
Now there's some argument, don't ever point the third guy. But what we would say is, if you have to zone, and if the second guy hits your gap, you got to block him.
Yeah.
Okay, don't chase him.
Right.
Look for the point. Okay. So in other words, we have one for this guy, one for the overhang, we have one for the inside back or the fullback, and the guard gets hit right in the face by the run through. He takes it. The back will take his. Okay. But if the run through doesn't occur and he starts to move towards the C gap, the guard doesn't try to chase him. He's looking for the third guy, the actual point. Pretty simple. You're coming around on a pin and pull, and the overhang hits you right in the face. You don't run by a good block for a bad one.
Right.
You take his,
so
he'll take yours.
Face, behind. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay. And you're going against a 3 down, and you're running tight zone or wide zone. You're running zone to the right, and the overhang player hits the big gap. Well, the guard better block him. I don't care. The guard's got to block him. I don't care if it's cover. I don't care if it's a 3 technique.
Right.
The guard's got to block him.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you're saying he's the point because there ain't nobody else, we're good. If you're saying there's a tight end and the overhang player wraps, well, hopefully whoever's coming off the guard or the center. Now the center knows that he doesn't have that overhang. The tight end has him. Well, the tight end, as he sees the overhang cross, okay, he grabs the end. When he grabs the end, the tackle puts the brakes on and helps to the inside. He sees the overhang. They're both looking at the overhang. Okay? It's just count. It's just
Yeah.
simple.
Right.
Once you know, when you're going spots,
Mm-hmm.
you say, okay, you've got tight end there. He's got that spot. You got this spot. You got this spot. You got this spot. And spots works out pretty good. We had to do it at times when we were in a night point system to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
It works out pretty good. I'm pretty sold on spots if you don't have a quarterback that's worth the effort
Mm-hmm.
for protection.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Because you go
Go
fast.
fast.
Or give the illusion of going fast.
Right.
You know?
Maybe though doing it that way makes it a little. We get fold in type players. Understand you got to handle the overhangs in different ways, but if you have that type of issue, I think it makes it a little easier if you're blocking spots because if you've got like a split flow play and you're Mike and you will play behind the zone.
When they back at,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I mean, it's the same as anything else. If you got that spot,
Right.
okay, and you're basically, if you have that spot, you must be going to air.
Yeah.
You got a green light, you block, you know, you
Yeah.
block.
Right.
Guy rocks out, now you got the spot. Well, the spot goes this way, you just get square to air.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be big eyes, and you're gonna look at. I don't buy this, you know, like zero in on the target and don't look at anything else, and make sure that you're looking at the top of the left number. I want I want a big screen. I want a big vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I can't hit you without staring at you, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You're right in front of me. What the hell? I should be able to hit you.
Right.
But I want to see the safety. I want to see the overhang. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see what's going on. And of course, when you're in three open, the whole idea is identify the overhang.
Right.
Where is it? You know. And if the overhang's tight and there's no spin, well, it's you got outlet throws.
Mm-hmm.
Or something's wrong. And
Right.
the slot says, hey, hey.
Yeah.
You know. Usually, if there's no cap on the slot and the overhang's tight, he's going back out. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what would be? I know I've heard you talk before about having your tackles, teaching your tackles to be able to see the safeties. And that's something that we've done, especially with protection. Our kids did a good job with that this year. What would be your kind of progression to teach guys to do that as like freshman tackle?
You have first place you want to give people you want to give defenders names.
Right.
Okay. So anybody that's not a down man but is inside the end
Mm-hmm.
is a backer.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody outside the end is an overhang.
Mm-hmm.
When there's an overhang and another guy, that guy's the add-on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When there's backers and there's somebody behind the backers,
Mm-hmm.
that guy's a thief.
Mm-hmm.
When the backers walk up, they're muggers. When they walk up and there's really nobody behind them, they're sugaring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they'll change.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
change. Okay. When the overhang is on the line of scrimmage, he presses.
Mm-hmm.
He's pressed. Chances are he's at least, you know, there's no threat out there. Maybe he's going to exit. Maybe he's going to, you know, he'll buzz out of there, or cop out of there. But
Mm-hmm.
and that's the way we talk. And if he's out already, and there's no cap, or if he's pressed and there's no cap, pretty much going to drop.
Yeah, somebody has to. Yeah.
Going to drop. It's going to drop.
Like
Okay.
if we have two guys and if they don't have enough guys to cover those guys, then he's not rushing.
So the first thing we look for is safeties.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's anybody, I say I don't like four open, but when you want to teach this stuff, teach it to the quarterback or the tackles with four open.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, okay, pick a front. Oh, the safeties are spun that way. Where's the
Mm-hmm.
blitz going to be? Over here, coach. Okay, how about these guys? Yeah, probably not because it's 2 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's pretty easy. If the overhang's up tight and the backer's wide, where's the blitz? Okay, who's capping the overhang? The backer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, boundary blitz. Maybe they keep the safety on the hash mark and they cheat the inside backer out. We call that guy a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna cop. He's getting himself wider. He's abandoned as a guy that's not where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you got the overhang, the next guy's the backer. Why isn't the backer in here?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he cheating? Why is he stacking the overhang?
Yeah.
Is that almost outside, or sometimes he is outside.
Right.
Sometimes you have both guys pressed. You have the inside backer and the outside
Mm-hmm.
backer, and they're both pressed outside the end. Oh, really? That's a bandit.
Yeah.
Something's up. And we're going to probably get a bark stun. We're probably going to get both of them, especially if
Mm-hmm.
safety comes down and caps. And none of this makes sense unless you have names for these things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can just say, did you get a cap? No. Well, then why'd you? And here's the other thing. When I have leverage, okay, let's say you're the, now stay right there. Let me go over here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the tackle, okay, and you're the overhang, and there's
Yeah.
a defensive end in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I have leverage on you,
Mm-hmm.
and we're pass protecting, okay. I don't want to vacate this guy, because if I vacate him, I can't come back if you cop. So I want to stay square, okay.
Yeah.
I want to stay square, and I don't want to not get any width, but I really rather get some depth.
Mm-hmm.
The wider you are, the deeper I will set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what we do, I got this from Dante Scarnecchia. He came. I didn't get it, but we got it.
Yeah.
He came to visit us at Penn State one time, and he said that they handle 3 down, they cup it, and tackles are on the outside backers, they get a little deeper.
Yep.
Guards are on the defensive ends, they get a little wider. I scratched my head and said, well, why don't we just do that all the time? What's the difference?
Uh-huh.
So, I guess when you have the right defensive end, it does make a difference. But I'm going to try and keep my hands on this defensive end. I'm going to try and keep this leg back, and I'm going to look at you. I'm going to turn. I'm almost going to turn the turret, but really I'm just looking.
Yeah.
Because if you cop, I'm going to rewind and grab this guy. If I vacate, if I turn my shoulders to you, I rewind and hits me in the head.
Right.
If you cop, he's probably going to contain. If he doesn't contain, somebody else is.
Yeah.
End of story.
Mm-hmm.
If you come, you have to come to me because I have leverage on you. I have the advantage, and I've already set deep. If you come, where's the end going? He's not mine anyway.
Right.
Right. So the trick is not to vacate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have to put 2 hands on. I don't know. Maybe it depends on if he's a little lighter. You put 2 hands on,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't let him grab you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some of these guys they'll have the defensive end grab the tackle, and they know he has to go.
Right.
And you can switch it up and say, but if the guard's used up, now you got to use it at the center. I just say, look, don't let him grab you.
Right.
Okay. Just keep him at bay.
Right.
Don't let him grab you. You're going to come back to him. And if that guy cops, he's going to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the standard thing, Fordo side, a bark stunt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we say, wait a minute, we got a guy out here, or maybe there's no guy. I have an end and no overhang, and the next guy is way inside of here. It's a 4 down. Guess what's going to happen? I see the spin going to that way. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to signal. The tackles would signal to each other. This guy would say something like, open up, or there's nobody here,
Yeah.
ghost, or whatever. And the other guy would say, well, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. I got an overhang and an add-on. I got problems. Well, they're rocking the front.
Right.
This guy's going to cop.
Yeah.
End of story. Could be Lex, could be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we know. So I'm setting you, but I got nothing to worry about. You cop. I rewind, grab the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Guard sees that, the 3's rocking out. He rewinds and helps the center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's all it is. Makes sense?
Yeah.
It's probably what you do. No?
It basically is. And, some of the words you use are slightly different than mine, but some of them are better than the ones that I use. So,
When you've been shot at and missed and shit at and hit as much as I've been, come up with this stuff.
So a couple other questions I want to ask you. I don't want to jam. You got better stuff to do than talk to me. So
I don't know.
so you talked about using hands independently and the difference between football and bench press and all that stuff. What for you was the best way to teach that to kids to overcome the 100,000 reps of bench press that they've done in their life? Does that make sense?
Well, we say squared air, right?
Yes.
You have to go back to these are conceptual things.
Yes.
Okay? When you're in front of me, okay, what kind of pass rush would I expect? What's the most dangerous thing? What is these two bad teams? What do they do?
Kind of power rush.
Full rush.
Yeah,
Right?
full rushing.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking about grabbing the bull by the horns. Now, if he gives me my chest, if he gives me a chest, I hit him in the chest with two
Right.
hands. Maybe I hit him 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I favor the inside hand, maybe I favor the outside hand. It really doesn't hurt. Okay, when he's not in front of me, and I try and hit him with two hands, what does that do?
Force you to turn.
Turns him.
Yeah.
Okay? Even if your feet are ready, it forces you to turn. And as soon as he turns, yeah, I mean, maybe he bull rushes you, maybe he jet rushes you, you got any problem. What happens is twist.
Right.
Okay, you vacate, the three technique hits you in the head,
Mm-hmm.
this guy comes around, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So if you can teach them, we call it a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's a difference here between a stop sign and somebody says, well, it's a one-hand stab. And we're just trying to get it so that we got a long arm
Uh-huh.
and a strong arm.
Yeah.
All right. So if I go to reach to strike you,
Yeah.
all right, and you're running away from me, you're gonna run right around my up leg.
Right.
I have to strike you. I've got to put this leg in front.
Yeah.
Now, if you're close enough, yeah, I get away with it. But if you're jetting, you chop me and you go. I'm
Yeah.
screwed. So I got to keep this foot down. But in the same token, I got to protect myself.
Uh-huh.
I can't let you get going. Okay. And if I reach with the inside hand, I'm going to turn.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want is a long hand that
Mhm.
maybe jabs. We call it a jab. Just when you jab, boom. Now, if you really jab into it,
Right.
but you got to retreat. We don't do that. We just kind of
Yeah.
hold the stop sign on just like this.
Yeah.
Stop.
Uh-huh.
What does that do? What does that do? Your long
What
arm.
does that do?
What does that do?
It makes it much more difficult for the long arm. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You can do it.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna try to get your hand off.
Right. Okay. So what we say is this: don't put it here. Put it here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the hand that's actually doing your protection.
Yeah.
This thing is sort of like when we first talked about it, we called it a clothesline.
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you get caught with your hand on the inside of that man,
Yep.
and I'm just looking at you right here. There's your middle.
Yep.
Okay, turn face me. Now here's your middle. Okay, turn this way. Now you've hidden. There's still a middle.
Yep.
If I put my hand on anything that looks like the middle, if I don't put my hand on your outside quarter,
Uh-huh.
okay, you're gonna run right around me.
Right.
So I want to be able to. I don't really want to hit with it. Okay. Now you turn to me. Boom. I can hit with it.
Right.
Okay. But I don't want to reach to strike.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I want you to chop me.
Yep. And then you put me behind the quarterback, basically.
Throw you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna throw you.
Okay.
And when you do that with two hands, you can't really throw anybody.
Right.
Now you come at me,
Uh-huh.
okay, and I can quickly grab you, and if you cross me, I just switch hands.
Yep.
Okay. I'm looking for a hard spot.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like to be here. We like to be on the hip.
Yep.
And we like to wrench.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if we can wrench, we'll dunk it.
Yep.
Okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. But the trick is don't get caught inside of what you perceive to be the middle.
Okay.
All right. As a matter of fact, don't even try to hit the guy. That's why we call it a stop
Just
sign.
leave it out there.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
stop. You know, you're gonna have. You don't want it like this. You want it bent, and guess what? It's about a 90,
Yeah.
but it's up. It's palms out.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There was a couple of guys that were talking about pass blocking like this at one time.
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you're coming at me, grab the bull by the horns.
Right.
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 Okay. You're going that way. Stop sign. Turn. Boom. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go. Throw. Okay. We know that one arm is longer than two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you know any of this karate stuff, I don't get it. I don't understand. the karate stuff because if you're karateing me, I can karate you. If you're standing up and you're doing all this shit, I can do you. Okay? But if you're bull rushing me, I ain't karateing you.
Yeah.
It's just like hitting the shot put with the baseball bat.
Right.
I got to roll.
Yeah.
I got to torque up.
Right.
I got to grab it. I got to do something to you. Okay? Now, jiu-jitsu is holds and all that.
Right.
But judo is throws. Okay? I can throw you a lot easier than I can stop you. But what I have to do is change you. I got to throw you further than you wanted to go. If I'm going against a three technique, I can't throw them in the backfield. I got to throw them across the tackle.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you do that? Well, you ain't doing it like this, bro. You gotta have torque.
Yep.
You gotta have the legs bent.
Yep.
You're not gonna be. Come over here, so
yeah.
we're facing the camera. You try to throw this guy with your legs straight. You don't have enough torque. You do him like this. He's chopping you. Ping, and you're gonna launch him. Try it yourself at home, but don't do it to your wife. Okay. But you have to condense, and you can't be slipping, and you can't be flailing.
Right.
Okay, everything's got to be tight. We don't kick slide. We chop. We stomp. We call it stomp because we're trying to get traction.
Yep.
Okay. When you slide and glide, you make yourself light.
Right.
Okay. Now, if I have a jet guy and I run to him, great. But then I get back to this. And what we know about jets is, remember we talked about the distance?
Yeah.
You got a jet, he's pretty far away.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a long run.
Yeah.
And the problem is if he's good enough to drop that shoulder.
Right.
So if you coming at me and you're dropping that shoulder, and I got you.
Yeah.
Right? If I can hit it right there. But if I have my hands all over the place,
right.
Okay, I got a problem. So you drop that shoulder and I just give you the shot. Now let's go over here.
Yeah.
Drop this shoulder. Okay. Your body's going that way.
Right.
It's easy for me to punch now. But why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the load is you're already going that way. I'm judoing you.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Chopping and all that stuff. I tried it. When you're bull rushing me and I'm chopping you and I'm hopping and all that stuff, I have to use my third hand to apply. You go ahead and drive me. If you can do that to me, I can chop all I want. I ain't gonna get you.
Right.
But if I can get my third hand, which is my chest in this case, to hold you up, then I got a chance to chop. Okay. I've seen it happen. I see film of it all the time. I don't, maybe. I'm coaching college football, maybe high school football. I know it can be done.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I don't want to do a bunch of drills because it's few and far between.
Right.
If I happen to see a guy that's really good at it, it's a bull rusher. And we wax on, wax off, all that stuff. I get it, but usually it's not that kind of thing. It's just like he's either got his chest up. He's riding a bicycle, okay? Or he's got his chest down and he's riding a motorcycle.
Okay.
Well, he's running.
Yeah, right.
He's got 1 foot on the ground.
Right.
You're a 2-footed animal.
Yes.
In order for us to do work, we have to take steps.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
Okay. In order for them to rush the passer, they have to take steps.
Right.
Every time they take a step, 1 foot's on the ground. So
Gotcha.
if they're not giving you a great load, they're giving you this stuff. Okay. The other thing is this: if I see, we call this sack dance. I see a chest and hands and head and all that stuff. Back up. Why not? Back up. You're gonna get picked.
Right.
And he's going somewhere. Maybe he'll back up. Get away. If you can double punch him because he's standing there or he's stopped, go ahead. Why not? You stop him.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you think you're going to double punch him and stop him, if he's a bull, you got a problem. You got to grab him.
Yeah.
You're not that strong. You're not strong enough. You gotta get it to your legs. You gotta rolled up the chain,
Mm-hmm.
get it back to your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hop and all that, I've seen it, I see
Uh-huh.
guys do it, they talk about it, it's great, I don't know. Some guys do it, some tremendous athletes that play on Sundays,
Yeah.
I, I think if a guy is that leaned forward,
Mm-hmm.
that you can chop him and he'll fall, you can just as easily throw him.
Yeah.
You can throw him away from the quarterback.
Right.
Usually when you chop the guy, he keeps pushing you and you wind up
Yeah,
feet going to the quarterback.
Right.
So, that's just me.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that you used to teach the scoot, both feet
Right.
back, and then going forward, and you don't do that anymore?
Well, because what we found was this. The whole idea of the scoot was this. I wanted to stay square and get in front of somebody. But how do I get in front of somebody who's not in front of me? Well, for years and years and years, we took a brace. I got that word from Paul Alexander years ago, and then we would try to figure out, take a step and go get them. But what you're basically saying is I can't get in front of them. So I had this guy. He played for the Lions. He was a great player. Had him at Elon. His name was Rodney Austin.
Yeah.
And he would get in front of people and knock the dog out of them. Okay, they played foot to foot, and he'd get in front of him. He was a guard, and I couldn't figure out what he was doing. But what he was actually doing in the scoot was he was bracing that foot, putting that other foot in the same bucket. You call this a bucket step, and then he was able on his third step to go get it, and he stayed square and he got in front of people. Okay, and now here's where people get into trouble with the scoot. If you practice it against a dummy, you're wasting your time. You have to practice it against a live guy who's got to be charging, because you're never going to get the feel for it. When you stand up, when you're just standing there, anything I do will work, and I might as well just go get you. If you're standing there, if you're not playing aggressive. When you play aggressive and I don't hit you in the right spot, okay, you're going to drive me backwards. So what I want to do when I scoot, practice it, is I want to step, boom, and I want to hit. And if I can't get in front of you, I'm tearing you right now.
Right.
Okay. If I get in front of you, hopefully I can do something to you.
Yeah.
Okay. But at least I got you covered. All right. And maybe the center is coming, drilling you. Okay. What we found was if you're far enough for me to scoot, okay, I don't know, just skip. There's a guy, I forget his name. He's out in, he's a Division II coach in Colorado or somewhere out there. His name is Mike. Mike, please forgive me if you watch this. And I just can't. It's a Latino name, Chavez. Okay. And he said, well, we're skipping everything, okay, because we're making it happen in 2 steps.
Yeah.
So you're kind of far away, and I just bring that foot, boom, boom.
Yep.
Okay. I haven't gained any ground with this foot. I've got that brace, and I'm in good shape. So we said, okay, we're going to either skip, and then when we started going to shoulder roll, I said, look, skip, gator leg, roll his shoulder. And if you get covered, great. If not, you stretch. And if he goes backside, you do that to him. So we just shortened it up by using a skip. So in other words, go over there and face the camera. So, can they see my feet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this, this doesn't work. You come across, I'll never get in front of you.
Right.
Okay. If I move this foot, you're going to knock me backwards.
Yep.
Okay. So what we're doing is taking it when we scoot, we double brace, and I can move the third step.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we said, well, what the hell? Just do this.
Yeah.
Now I can move the third step with the inside foot. The third step is with the inside foot now instead of the outside foot.
Got it.
And what we did was that would be on the outside half of a double team. So let's say you were in 3 technique. Let's come over here. Okay. And I'm the guard, and I'm going to chip you like this. Okay, I'm giving that tackle access, and he's going to go skip, boom. Okay, you put that hand out,
Yep.
and boom, and he gets covered on 2 steps. And you have to watch the Lewisburg video to see that,
Yeah.
because that's where I went to it.
Uh-huh.
Mike Chavez is at. Now he skips everything. I don't buy it. Like if I'm chipping, I ain't skipping.
Right.
Okay, if I have yellow light, I ain't skipping.
Yep.
I'm just doing this. So
Yep.
boom. Okay, because I want that foot solid.
Yep.
Okay, and I want to put all my weight on that foot and use that foot like a kind of like a Russian dancer.
Uh-huh.
Hey, hey.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I need the brace.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we practice that kind of stuff, we just chip and chip and chip and chip and chip.
Uh-huh.
Now, there's another thing that we do called dig,
Uh-huh.
but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know anything else.
Okay. Those are the main questions that
Okay.
I had. I just downloaded a lot of information.
Well, hopefully
Yeah.
help you. If there's
Yeah.
anything else?
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. Pass protection. You get 5 down. Okay. You get
What type of pass protection? Drop back?
drop back pass protection. It's 3rd and 7.
Six man pro?
Yeah. For the purposes of the question, I guess it is important, but it's not the end all be all, right? We're locked up. Everybody's got a guy. Okay. So it's 3rd and 7. Everybody in the stadium knows we're throwing. They got 2 linebackers walked up on the guards. You're getting twist games. You know you're gonna get twists in that situation with the walk up.
Whenever we get motors, okay. Let's just start with this. Let's say I'm the center. It's
Yep.
not 5 down, it's 4 down.
Okay.
And you have double motors. That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I set to you flat,
Yeah.
I get picked.
Right.
So what I want to do is set deep
Yep.
with one arm, keeping the other arm, and staying square because you're a backer, so square to air.
Right.
And
Yeah.
right? Okay. So you come across. You ever see a bull charge on 2 legs?
No.
You ain't getting a bull rush.
Right.
Okay. You might, he might drop a shoulder or something like that. But
Yeah.
basically, you can get a little depth, and if he cops, it's pretty easy to rewind to this.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
If they twist and you turn, you vacate and you get picked.
Uh-huh.
You stay square and play long with the stop sign. Okay. He cops out and twists, and this,
Yep.
it's pretty easy.
Okay.
Okay. And the back is just trained to say that if you take his, he takes yours.
Right.
Now, if it's a mugger, 3 down in the muggers,
Yeah.
the center could call that either way. He could call it 5 down,
Mm-hmm.
or you could call it 3 down.
Right.
Okay. But the trick is the center. Now, I learned this from a player at Elon.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you're setting a nose by yourself, okay, if you're snapping with your right hand, set like you're a right guard.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like Paul Alexander was on Twitter the other day, and he said, well, you can switch hands, and like if the guy's over here, he's trying to rush your snap hand you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't. We just say, look, I got a right hand snap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna set like this.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. If I'm a left hand snap, I'm gonna set like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have muggers, set a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Just set a little deeper. Because the mugger
With the center, you're
yeah,
saying.
with the center. And if it's 5 down, straight 5 down with 3 techniques, everybody sets a little deeper.
Yeah.
Okay. But everybody sets. The left guard sets like a left guard. The center and the right guard set like right guards.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a little deeper.
Yeah.
And you got William Perry in front of you. You better have Olin Kreutz blocking him.
Yeah.
Somebody like that.
Yeah.
The big dude from the Jets, Mangold.
Yeah.
All this stuff works better when you got better players.
That's the best way to get you coach.
You got Mangold, you just club people to death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A couple of these other guys, Pouncey. I mean, I don't know. I've never worked with any of these guys. I went to New Orleans one time, twice actually, and was on the field with them. But I've coached a few pros.
Yeah.
And, they're different animal.
Yeah.
Better than everybody else. And not because the physical part, but some guys are phenomenal physical.
Mm-hmm.
The mind.
the processing.
Yeah, they're just smart.
Yeah.
There's no good dumb football players.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
They might not be great students. They ain't dumb.
Yeah.
Can't deal with it. Dumb guy, doesn't pay attention, doesn't, forget it. You learn a language, okay, and you use the language. If I say cop, what does that mean? Well, that's a defensive lineman that cops out. He goes out. When I say mugger, what's that? Well, that's a backer. He's on the line. When I say press, it's an outside overhang. He's on the line. When I say thief, everybody knows what that is. When I say spin, everybody knows what that is. When I say cap, everybody knows what that is. When I say 5 down, everybody knows what that is. And the other thing is I say to them, you think it's 5 down? Call it, because you're the captain. Don't, the guard calls it, I go bananas. Center's call, he calls it. Puts everybody on the same page. We're all wrong together. We got a chance. Okay. He says 5 down, you say 3 down, we're screwed.
Page is the right page.
That's right. It really doesn't matter. If you don't have a language, you've got a problem. Okay. Everybody says culture. Well, culture has a language, and you're on the sideline and you're trying to find out what the hell's going on. Well, I got my guy. Wait a minute. What do you mean guy? What guy?
Yeah.
Was it 5 down? Who's your guy? The linebacker? You block a mugger? That's the back's guy. You didn't get your guy. Okay. Well, I thought he was. I don't care what you thought.
Right.
The back. You screwed the back. Nobody knows what's going on. Okay. If you have to be like that. When I get mad at kids that are lazy. Okay. Because you've only got so much time.
Right.
The game is time. That's all it is. Okay. And you can get a better player, you can get whatever, you can get stronger, you can get faster, you can get whatever. You can't get more time. Okay. And baseball is not played on time, it's innings. Football is time. Everything you do is time. You got 2-minute drill, time.
Right.
Game is an hour long,
right.
Time. So when you're lazy, you're wasting opportunity that you're only, hey, we got an hour and 50 minutes to practice, and then you have to get on the bus and go to the damn eat, and then you got to go to study hall. We got time to screw around.
Valuable commodity you have is a practice route.
Well, time.
Yeah, which is time.
Right. You can't waste it. The other thing is not knowing the language. I get furious. And is it my language? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. If I went somewhere and I had to learn a new language, I would learn it. But if the language had holes in it, like if they didn't have a word for press, I'd say, well, that's a press.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many words. Well, there's so many. What do you mean so many words? Like, you're Alex, right? I'm John, right?
Right.
We're both coach.
Right.
You say coach, we both turn. Nothing gets done.
Right.
That's all I know.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. I really do. I mean.
All right. Well, let's turn it off.
Yeah.
So that's the session. That was another 50 something minutes. We're signing off.
All